What up guys? Real quick before Derek and Tanya get here, just wanted to do a real quick intro for you guys. So I'm pretty excited. Also, I guess actually before I start, anybody who was asking how I'm doing good. I feel a lot better now. I did go get some antibiotics and I took a couple days off of work and just kind of chilled for the past week or so, and I feel a lot better. So finally been getting my appetite back, and yeah, just overall feeling really great. So thank you guys for anybody who's concerned, but I am doing way better. So real quick, just an explanation. I don't know if we've ever explained this before, but so tonight is Friday, or today is Friday. Derek and Tanya come up here Friday night after work. They drive up here. They drive about 2.5 hours from Colorado Springs, and they come to the shop. So Friday nights is the night that we actually do our live streams. So we do the live stream every Friday night at about 8-ish Mountain Time on Derek's channel. So if you're interested in that, go over there, check that out. Link in the description to Derek's channel as always. But so we do the live stream on Friday night, and then Saturday night I come back, or Saturday morning, come back up here, it will work. And then obviously we work Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday they leave about 4 or 5 and they head back down. So we don't have a lot of time to work on it, and it will take us a little while to get this done. But that's just a rundown of kind of how we're doing the Civic and how we're building it. It works kind of good because then I take Monday off, hang out with the girlfriend, relax, you know, and then I start back on Tuesday. I actually am really excited because I just finished up the GTO today. There's a couple little things that need to be buttoned up on it, but all the fab work is done on it. So that means all I have left is to button up a couple little things on the Falcon back there, and then I get to bring my RX-7 back and I get to work on it and I get to finish it. So that's what I'm really excited for, and those are my goals for the next month or two, is to get the RX-7 back in here and get it finished. So the plan is, once the RX-7 comes back, we'll be working on the RX-7 and the Civic at the same time. So anyways guys, just wanted to make a real quick intro before Derek and Tanya got here. They're gonna be here maybe like 10-15 minutes. I just want to let you guys know in this video we are going to be building the be boxing in the K-member that I cut all up, and also we'll be doing the front motor mounts and try to get the whole motor hung in there. So we'll be trying to get the motor all mocked up. Trans member is already done, so trans mount's done. Just need to make the motor mounts, and we're going to put the new suspension on it that he got. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. And also guys, I know I've said this before, but I am gonna really try and step up my game with the YouTube and actually make videos that make sense for you guys and try to do it more frequently. So I appreciate all you guys watching, and I feel like I owe it to you guys to do something better for you. So hopefully in the next month or two, you guys will see a big improvement in what's going on here. Lucy, who's here? Lucy, who's here? Who's that? Who is that? Who is that, Lucy? Got yourself some Burger King or what?
Yup.
Let's see your hat, dude.
Some fries.
You got these hats available? Make street racing great again.
Dude, like everywhere I go.
I'm surprised you didn't make them red. You really got a lot of hate.
So I did. I made them black because I didn't want people to like accidentally assume. Already people will like read the first part of it. They'll like start getting pissed, and then they'll be like, oh, never mind.
That's actually pretty funny. So you gonna eat real quick and then we're gonna start this live stream?
Yep.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna make a drink too. I'm gonna start doing that for live streams. Gotta loosen up a little.
I think I'm good. I'm so full right now I can't do anything else. So, but yeah, we'll start the live stream soon. Just got to the shop. Derek's making breakfast.
That's all I'm good for.
He already made some bacon, make some sweet potato hash browns, make some eggs, and we're gonna start on this thing. See how far we get today. I'm hoping we get the motor mounts done. I'd be excited to get the motor mounts done today, which should be doable. And then maybe tomorrow, Sunday, we could work on getting the motor all dressed up and maybe get it bolted to the tranny and put in there.
Yeah,
the actual motor.
Yeah, the actual one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else that we want to use the mock-up for. I mean, it's just
I don't think so.
Wyatt's motor, so we don't really care much.
Just Wyatt's motor. At Wyatt, it was actually pretty nice. Wyatt came up yesterday for the live stream.
Yeah,
it was a kind of a funny surprise.
Yeah.
We were all talking about him, and then he just randomly shows up.
We were talking shit, basically.
Yeah, we were talking shit. So was talking shit, saying that he should be sponsored by Tropicana for all that orange peel he's got on his car.
And then we were talking, well, because he wasn't even in the chat. And we're like, oh,
yeah, where's Wyatt at?
He was all asking about it. He ain't even coming. And then he actually shows up in person.
Yep. So we're gonna eat real quick and then get to it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Tanya's just buttoning up her side, but did get the strange coilovers on there. Looking pretty good. Got the right forks from a friend for free 99 from James, right? James.
Yeah.
He hooked it up with some forks.
Some free 99 forks.
So I got the right forks on there, got the coilovers on there, the Skunk 2 upper adjustable control arms on there too. We got it like hella cambered out. We got it maxed all the way out, so it's gonna look sick when we lower it down, but just gotta put the wheel on real quick and lower it down so we can start working on the motor mounts. That's what we gonna do right now. So we got the motor mocked up, we got the transmission mount actually bolted on. We're just kind of making sure it was even and the angles were right. Right now we were figuring out how we wanted to make this front cradle for the mounts to actually go to and for the rack to possibly bolt to. So we are going to mark some stuff so we can weld some nuts into the frame rail. But this side, before we can mark anything, because of like how it's in line with the mount, we need to actually chop this old mounting point off so we can get fresh plate like on the unibody frame rails and weld some nuts in there. So gonna go ahead and chop this mount off and then weld some nuts, or mark where the nuts are gonna go.
Yeah.
Take the motor back out and weld the nuts in, put the motor back in, and then make our cross member or cradle thing. So it's gonna be kind of an ordeal going back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
I know, yeah, because we gotta put the oil pan on the motor so that we know how low we need to go with the cradle.
Yep. So we gotta put the oil pan on, then put it back in there, make sure we're not hitting the oil pan, yeah.
And then this cross member is gonna serve as, or this cradle is gonna serve as a mounting point for the steering rack too.
Yep.
So that's why we're putting the mounts where they are right now.
Yeah, so far forward because they're in line with kind of like where the tie rod mounts on the knuckle. Tie rod mounts on the knuckle right about here. So it ends up pretty close. Not perfect, but close enough.
I think we're good. I mean, we can extend off of the cradle pretty easily.
Yeah.
But we just want to make sure we're in the ballpark.
But yeah, so that's the plan. Chop that mount off, take this motor out, or we'll chop that mount off, mark for the nuts, take the motor out, drill big holes, weld nuts in, put motor back in, make motor mount shit.
Make cradle.
Make cradle, yeah. So we gonna get started.
Cool.
After a whole bunch of cutting, we got this mount somewhat out. We were going to drill all the spot welds out, but we ended up ditching that plan. This mount came off really easy. And so as you can see, we do have both of the plates on here, all bolted up. The nuts are welded inside the frames back here. They're 1/2-inch nuts. They're really strong. They seem really stout and really sturdy. So I don't think we're gonna have any issues with that. Both sides feel really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this cradle. We're actually gonna kind of guesstimate it a little bit.
We'll wing it.
Yeah, we're gonna wing it a little bit, but we do have a lot of room. So we're just gonna end up coming down this side straight and then up this side. Gonna tack it up because it'll probably take us 10-15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, tack all this up without the motor in there. And then we're gonna put the motor in with the pan and see how it fits. So I'm sure it will fit great, and then we can just unbolt it and weld it out, and then we can make the motor mounts off the cradle. And that'll be a quick, easy way to do it.
And then we can make the steering rack mounts off of that cradle as well.
Yep, exactly. So, but that'll be for later. So, but tonight I want to try to get that cradle made and get at least everything tacked up and possibly welded tonight. So it's really shitty here. I may end up staying here tonight instead of driving all the way back home. So yeah, we'll go ahead and tack this up, figure it all out, and then show y'all what we're doing with it.
That looks like a turd. It doesn't even look like a sausage.
It's a sausage.
It looks like a turd. Like old geese poop.
Well, it's because it's all natural. Turn it over. Oh my god.
Damn.
It actually cooked it.
Nice.
Well, I mean,
It's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Solid. Last night we did get the little cradle thing made. Got it all bolted in there. got it all welded up. Last night we were gonna tack up the motor mounts, but we ate food and then felt tired of shit.
Yeah.
So we just went to bed. So
It was pretty late already anyway.
Yeah, I ended up staying here last night because the weather was so shitty and I had to come back in the morning. So stayed here, woke up this morning, and now we're gonna get these mounts done and then get on moving on to the motor. So we can put the heads on the motor really quick, and then by that time it probably rolls around, you guys will probably be heading out of here.
Yeah, and that's all the progress that we wanted to do anyway, was get the suspension components on there and then get the mount, or get the motor
so it
mounted.
sits in there, yeah.
Everything, like once this is in, everything is based off of it. Location of the motor, that means we could do everything else now, so it's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be really nice once this is in, like doing everything. Motor mounts take so long because the first mount takes forever because you got to make sure everything's lined up perfect and then make that mount. And then after that mount's made, then you got to make sure this is all lined up perfect and then make that mount.
And look at the assembly that we got going on here.
Yeah, we got
three jack stands, or 3 jacks, a jack stand,
Yeah.
block of wood for spacing, like everything has to be perfect.
Yeah, and every single time, like you go to make even just the rear mount, you have to set the car at ride height with jacks.
Yeah.
Like even if you had a lift, you'd still have to bring it down on the ground and set it at ride height, unless you had like a frame jig thing underneath it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna cut these real quick, tack this all up, and then the motor will be chilling there.
Yes, sir. Cool. Get to work.
Shreddy. So we got the cradle and the mounts all made. Well, I guess the mounts are just tacked to the cradle, but it actually looks pretty symmetrical, which I'm not sure how we achieved that, but I'm happy with it. So just gonna go ahead and weld this out real quick and then bolt it all back up, and then remove all the jacks, let it sit there. And then the motor stuff is sitting over there, ready to be put together. So we are gonna move right onto that after we bolt this up. So
Sorts of completion.
yes, I feel a lot better this weekend. For all the past like 3 weekends, we didn't really get much done. So one of the hardest parts out of the way. So I'd almost say the 4-link is easier to do than the motor mounts.
I think it was.
So, because you don't got to go in and out, up and down so many times. So yeah, get this welded and then move on to the motor stuff. So I'm not sure if I showed you guys the motor all bolted in with the new motor mounts and the cross member, but this is what it's looking like. Pretty happy with how they came out. Fits really nice. I may need to get a stiffer trans mount, possibly.
Probably
It's a little soft, but
I'm used to a solid mount, so we should probably put it.
yep. And the pan should fit really good. Should have good clearance down there. It's not too low.
Nice and snug in there.
Yep. Intake manifold fits great. Still gonna probably have to make a cowl for it because like towards the front of the motor, it does look like the intake manifold's too high. But had him, well I guess I got on it first on top of the motor, but had Derek jump on top of the motor and see if he could flex it a lot, and it does not flex at all. So that's a win. It's kind of almost scared that this wasn't gonna be super strong, but it seems really strong even with the nuts just welded into the sheet metal of the like unibody frame rails. So and next weekend, probably be marking some of the stuff back here, trimming the little bit that needs to be trimmed still, boxing in the K-member that's right there. A couple little things, and the RX-7 should be back here too, so. Yeah, get to work on that. This will be getting out of here on Tuesday, hopefully. So that'll be nice, and then this week I will be working on the Falcon for a little bit also. So should have a decent amount of content for you guys in the next couple weeks.
Yep. Jeff's got the rear end. I think he's gonna cut it apart next weekend.
Okay.
He's moving fast with it, so he said have the brackets there. Gotta order those. So we'll probably have that the following week back, it sounds like.
Okay, and so you guys, he's already got like all the parts and everything, the axle, or I guess he's gotta,
No.
he's gotta figure out the axles and, okay, yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, so get the rear axle maybe 2 weeks?
probably, it sounds like.
Sick,
Unless
and
something
then-
comes up with him.
See how far we can get in 2 weeks and see if we can finish the majority of this stuff or get everything figured out for it, and then we can start working on the 4-link, and
Yep.
be cool to get the suspension all tacked up and then set the car at right height with the motor and everything in it. It's gonna look so sick.
40 to 60.
Do we open this?
I can come around. Yes, please.
So this thing has stock bottom end, ARP head studs, LS9 gaskets, dual valve springs and retainers, correct?
Yep. And
Stock rocker assembly, Z06 cam,
stock rocker assembly, Z06 cam.
stock push rods.
Stock push rods. Stock,
Simple.
but new oil pump.
Simple. Basically what everybody does.
LS7 lifters. Yeah, I mean, it's not like super cheap by any means. I mean, that's a good amount of money to put into a stock bottom end motor, but
Yeah.
it does not compare to like building a motor. I mean, that's
Yeah, well, and it should have really good oil pressure, so.
that was one of the things that really the truck does not have. I mean, I start that thing up and it's always single digit oil pressure at idle.
Yeah.
And then I think the most I've ever logged it make is 48 PSI.
Dang.
Ever.
Was it cold?
No, it was hot. 6,800 RPM.
Jeez. Yeah.
So, which is not a high RPM, but goddamn, that oil pump should be making more oil pressure than that. So.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with it for sure, but I mean, our motto with that car has always just been, you know, when something breaks, we'll fix it.
There's so much extra unnecessary lube on there. Well, all of them, look at that.
But you know what it isn't?
Well, it's not gonna stick, that's for sure.
It's not short on lube, that's for sure.
This kid.
I could have just read her sweatshirt and impacted them bitches.
Dude, you and impact and head studs. You drive me nuts.
Wouldn't actually do it.
You lying ass, you would.
I would run them down, sure. Well, all that bullshit with those going.
Dude,
screwing them in.
doesn't the sloppy mechanics dude just ugga-dugga them down and he reuses the studs and gaskets?
I don't know.
He reuses stock head studs and just ugga-duggas them down.
Sounds like my kind of dude.
It's ridiculous. So we got everything all torqued up. Rockers are all torqued. Everything's on there, all nice and ready. They're gonna put the valve covers on it. And we're gonna head out soon, so.
Everything is twerked.
This is our sick race motor.
Yeah.
Gonna make all the horsepowers.
Yeah.
But yep, simple, effective setup like all the other stuff we do. Same thing that we put in the Falcon basically, minus like springs retainers, but it's a pretty like good package, you know? Not gonna break it, so.
Relatively inexpensive.
Yeah,
When we were doing,
basically studs and LS9 gaskets, you're pretty set, you know? Even if you don't put nice springs in it.
If you got it coming, like if you know what this came out of and you know that it has good oil pressure, and you know it doesn't tick its ass off, then you don't need to do the other things that we did that kind of drove up our cost.
Yeah.
Oil pump and lifter stuff. So yeah, I mean it's super cheap. Imagine what we used to spend, like what we spend on Honda motors.
Yeah, the Honda motors are nuts. Pistons and
A2 for more than, or for less than like.
you gotta get the motor, get a GSR,
1,200.
find a good. If you don't get a GSR, you still gotta find like a nice crank. Good luck. Gotta get a VTEC head,
Especially the B series stuff.
and then you still gotta buy pistons rods.
Yeah.
That's $1,000. Then you gotta buy springs retainers. That's another $400.
Yeah.
And you're still not done with your motor yet.
And if you compare, like, I guess purpose for purpose, like a budget build between this and like a Honda motor, that's one thing. I mean, you can make a pretty good, fun budget build on a B series or a K series, but capability to capability, like being capable of holding very reliably 800 horsepower versus very reliably able to hold 800 horsepower in a K series or a B series.
Be a good luck.
The
800 horsepower in a B
cost-
series or K series is not reliable, no matter what you do to it.
Right, the cost is drastically different.
Yep.
Or one might say that it doesn't exist at all.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so really the only thing we have left to do is he needs to get a pulley on it, a couple little things, accessory stuff. Gotta put the shallower Holly pan on there. So, but other than that, it's basically done. So, gonna do the little things, put the little bag back on it, and probably get out of here. But yeah, so I think we are gonna go ahead and get out of here. It was a pretty fulfilling weekend, I thought. I'm pretty sure that's how we all felt like. So I ended up staying here, wasn't too bad. I wanna go home and shower. I don't wanna leave the shop because I've been here all week, but
Oh, that's right, you didn't even hobo shower.
yeah, I didn't even hobo shower. But I did have, luckily, I had deodorant in my backpack for some reason, so I got to put deodorant on.
Nice.
So it didn't smell terrible. but yeah, so hopefully you guys are excited about this. We made some progress on it. The RX-7 will be coming back this week also. I got to go pick that up from Kyle's. So we'll be starting on that. GTL will finally be out of my life, which is a nice thing. He's going to go get, so I will, once he gets it started, I will do a video on it of him at the dyno and whatnot, and probably the first startup. He's got to get the manifold and some of the hot parts coated, and he's got a couple little things he got to button up on it before he can actually start it. So that's where that's at. I was gonna do another video on it, but I ended up not doing that. So, and then as always, guys, tonight we are gonna be doing a live stream at 8, around 8-ish Mountain Time.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot for 8.
Okay, shoot for 8. Might not be exactly 8. Might be a little bit late sometimes.
Just gotta pick up the wheels.
Yeah, they got to pick up the wheels, and sometimes weather sucks or traffic sucks. So we will do in that live stream. Come ask us a whole bunch of questions, hang out, chill for a little bit. They normally end up being an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes we have special guests, like Wyatt. Wyatt showed up last week out of nowhere. He said he wasn't going to show up, and he showed up. So actually, before we do leave, go check out his channel. It's at Slower Than You. Go check that out. We do have different videos. He does stuff. He does do stuff on his truck. And next weekend he actually might bring his truck down and do some shenanigans. So you guys don't want to miss out on that. I'll put a link down to his channel at the bottom as always. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, see ya. Adios. Adios. Hi, Luce. What are you doing?
Perfecto.
What are you doing, Luce?
I need to bring from my Instagram and I did nothing this week but supervise.